In this video, gonna be attempting to repair, and hopefully I'll be able to repair this, a JVC DR-MV79. It's a VCR and DVD recorder. And this one has a weird symptom, one I never actually really seen with these units. And what it does pretty much is, it thinks there's a tape in there at all times. Now I have seen, of course, VCRs that's done, and typically it's when the sensors are bad, or it's gonna be, the UV light emitting dial went bad and stuff like that, which it could be very well in this one too, but it doesn't look like it has very much hours. That's the thing that's kind of an oddball. Heads are nice and shiny. You can tell by that pinch roller, and then of course the capstan shaft, that there was not much usage or any usage at all, at least on the VHS side of it. But when I did do my visual inspection, one thing they noticed right there is that cap right there is bulged out. So that could be part of the problem. I don't know, but I'll have to find out, of course. It could be just that this mechanism's out of time, but doesn't look like it's out of time because I don't see nothing that looks particularly off or that strikes out to me that, something's out of alignment. So likely could have to do with that capacitor. It could be a number of things. So I'll have to tear into this and see what exactly is going on, but I'll go and show you what it's doing. So I can power on the unit. Here I have a tape right here. I can attempt to put a tape in, but it never goes and takes the tape at all. And then of course it just shuts down. And that's all it does pretty much. And it doesn't matter, I can turn it on. And then of course you notice that the head drum is spinning right there. So that's a good thing. That tells me that motor's actually working and stuff like that. But I'll have to take this apart and further investigate to see what's going on. Thankfully, it's pretty easy. You do have to remove this front panel right here. Once you remove this front panel, then there's going to be two screws, one right there you have to remove. And then there's 4 screws holding the whole entire transporter. And one right there. And then there's one right there. You do have to disconnect the head cable, and literally you can lift this whole entire transport out. So it's actually one of the easier ones to service. So I'm going to go and look at that, check the time, make sure that it's not the transport that's the problem, then I'll go from there. So I went ahead and took the transport completely out, and it's sitting right over there. As you can see, everything looks pretty good, so nothing crunched up, doesn't look like it's out of time or anything like that, so I don't think that's the problem. But I did went ahead and looked at this mode switch, and you can see someone definitely was in here before, so I had to clean that up. Go ahead and actually just put, some deox and stuff like that in there instead of whatever grease they decided to go ahead and use in there. Doubt that's from factory because I don't remember seeing that on any of the JVC decks that I worked on, but it could be, who knows. Either way it does, it's coming out, cleaning it up, and then we'll go ahead and reassemble that again. I have a funny suspicion someone tried cleaning it. They went ahead and put that in there, and that's probably what's gunking it up. So yes, someone was definitely in this because a couple of the middle contacts were bent down and a couple of the outer ones were bent inwards. So I went ahead and straightened them all out and bent them back the way they're supposed to be. So yeah, someone was messing around with this. So I'm going to go ahead and reassemble it, and hopefully it'll work. So I went ahead and pulled the whole entire main board out, and that's after, of course, attempting to see if that mode switch would fix the problem. And sure enough, it did not fix it. It couldn't just be that easy. And like I stated before, someone definitely was in there, and they also managed to break the connector that goes to the head amplifier. So I will have to replace that, but that's of course after fixing probably what was original default was that it would not accept the tape. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that problem. I went ahead and, pulled the old capacitor on. You can see that definitely was leaky and high ESR. So I'm going to go ahead and bodge the new one in there for the time being. Hopefully it'll fit and I can leave it in there, but for now, I just want to test to see if that at least fixes the problem. If not, I'll have to troubleshoot more and test sensors and stuff on the board to see if it's getting powered and if it is working stuff, if that does not work. And then if it does work, I'll have to replace that, of course, because otherwise you will not get no picture because that goes to the head amplifier. But for now, let's go and see if we can get this thing to accept the tape at least. So I went ahead and determined the problem is with this infrared dial right here. It's not emitting any infrared, and I went ahead and put a camera to it, didn't see no light out. So I went ahead and pulled the dial, which is the reason why it's somewhat out of its casing and stuff like that, and it is testing bad, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that. I do have one right here that's pretty much similar spec, so I'm just going to drop that into there, and hopefully that will fix the issue. So I went ahead and found another problem that the idiot that was working on this before created. I guess when he popped this wiper assembly up, besides just bending some of the wipers in there, he also went ahead, I guess, lifted this up a little bit too much and broke this post off. So as you can see, I had to resolder that to fix that. So now that's completely fixed. I also fixed the issue, of course, with the no infrared. And I went ahead and you can see there I had to J-rig that power supply on there. Only because these are not made to be serviced. They don't got the access panels like the older VCRs where you can either swivel the boards out or you get access to the bottom where you can do your testing and stuff like that. So you have to do it out of the machine. But as you can see, we fixed the tape issue. So now it doesn't think there's a tape in there no more. So great. Now I'm hoping that there's no other issues. Who knows what this idiot did to this thing. He could have blew something up, of course, on it. We don't know until we put the transport on there. But I definitely gotta fix this other issue that he created, which he broke this head amplifier connector. I'm not sure how he did that, but he did it. So I gotta somehow order one of those or find one of those. And it looks like it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9-pin connector, and that goes to the rotary transformer inside the head. So I definitely do have to fix that if I want to get picture. But we're gonna go ahead and put this in the chassis for now, and I'm just gonna test to see if the transport at least works, because like I said, an idiot was in this thing and I don't know what other damage she caused to this. So I went ahead and J-rigged that connector for the time being until I get the replacement in. And I also went ahead and added the DVD burner. I am going to use the remote for my other one, which is down here. And this one's actually a 150. So I got this hooked up to the receiver. We'll go ahead and power her on. Head spins up. Alright, that's good. And let's put the tape in the right way, of course, huh? And let's see if we get video playback. Yep. 571 Collector's Edition DVD is coming. It is definitely working. Let me go ahead and turn down the volume so that way it doesn't, get copyright strikes. But you can see there, yes, it is definitely working. Let's see if the dashboard and so forth works. Yep, it is fast scanning. And let's go ahead and do reverse scan. And yes, this remote works, so good, because it doesn't got rewind and forward on the chassis. It only got for play and stop. So I have to use the remote control. Let's see if we get fast forward. Yep, we get fast forward, so all the real sensors are working. And you know something? Let's go ahead and do full rewind and see if the actual auto stop works, because now the infrared's working, the stop should work. And usually what happens is when it gets to the clear part of the tape, it'll pass light through it, and that will allow the machine to stop before, of course, snapping your tape. So it should do that. And you can see there the counter's counting away. And we got a working machine pretty much. I don't see why this wouldn't work now. So go ahead and let it rewind. And we'll see if the auto stop kicks in. Right when it gets to the clear part, it should stop. Okay, and it is rewinding. Hopefully it'll soon. That's a nice one. Yep, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do, so we do got a fully functional machine pretty much. The DVD drive did work before, so I don't suspect that won't work, but I might go ahead and check that out too as well. Clean the laser, check the ESR on those capacitors back there. And like I said, I still gotta find one for that one down there because I just put what I had in there for the time being now. But now that the machine is operational, I'm gonna go ahead and do a full restoration on it at least, and let's just make sure the jips properly and so forth. So it is fixed, so that's a good thing. That's a sign of relief. So here's what I did to fix the broken connector for the head amplifier. And I went ahead and just took a piece of nylon, cut it to about the size it was, and then I plastic welded it. And you can see right there, it's more than good enough. And it does slide in and out. It locates great. So it will work permanently. I did try finding another connector, but the closest I had was this one. Even though it fit on the board, the lead spacing is actually smaller on this one than it is on this one right here. So I just went ahead and repaired it. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the board where the head amplifier is right there, and that should work nice and good. So went ahead and finished repairs to this JVC DVD recorder VHS VCR, and it is now fully functional. I went ahead and repaired the connector on the head amplifier and also cleaned the laser on the DVD recorder while I was at it. I did check the ESR on the power supply and all those capacitors, and they all test well within specs, so I'm going to leave them alone for now. None of them show that they're bulging. They're all good ESR, so there's no point in changing them. But let's go ahead and demonstrate this. You see. Okay, and then we'll push play. Well, once it powers up all the way, and that's my solder station in the background that's beeping. It does pick up the hi-fi track, as you can see. And then we got a nice clean picture. I can't play too much of this because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but you can see how it forward scans really nicely now. And then we press play. And we do get audio. I'll play a little bit of it. And you can hear the audio. And then it also reverse scans too. And you can see it's a lot cleaner now that I actually paired the connector on the head amplifier. But there you go. And let's just forward some more of it till we get like another picture besides just this. Yep. But you can see it works. And then now we can also fast forward. We'll go to fast forward just to demonstrate it. You can see counter everything works too. And then we'll go to fast rewind. And yes, this does got real sensors as well as the end stop sensors and so forth. But we'll go and let it auto stop. And then I'll go ahead and actually put a DVD in to show you that the DVD also works too. So here you go, it's almost coming to a stop. Okay, it's gonna get to the leader, and that's when it should stop. Right when it gets to the leader. Alright, and then I'll show you jet works, and you can see how it unloads the tape. And there you go. Now we'll go ahead and try the DVD side of it out. Let me just get a DVD here real quick. Let's take the VHS out of there. And then we'll hit DVD so it can go onto the DVD, and I see it on the picture, but hold on. And then there you go. And you can see it is functioning. Now I do gotta test the recorder and stuff like that, so I'll probably later on dub a VHS to DVD, but at least I know it does work, and that's probably gonna definitely get a copyright strike letting that play, but we'll go and get to the menu. And there you go, she plays. And we'll just fast scan it, and you can see it is working, so there you go. So the JVC DR-MV79 now is working. This is why I always tell resellers, if you don't know how to fix it, don't attempt to try to fix it, because that's pretty much what happened. Was the person that had this on eBay, probably likely the person that sold it on eBay, you know, likely attempt to repair it on the mode switch and stuff like that, and ended up screwing this thing completely up. Thankfully, it was repairable. I was able to save it, so there you go.